Greetings everyone, welcome back to another little Creepy on the 13th. This collaboration is hosted by Wandering Dreamer 555. All the other participants will be linked down below. So go check them out. So far they've got some really awesome projects that are going on. I've only watched a couple of the videos this morning. I know I'm late as usual, but this weekend has been super hectic. But we'll get that in a minute. Hold on. Drinking coffee this morning because it's desperately needed. So for this card, got some watercolor paper here. This is inspired by 3 different places. One of them is by Wandering Dreamers 555's video that she posted using, I think it was a Use It or Snooze It, where she just kind of did some spraying, and I was like, ooh, that looks like fun. I want to do that. So that's what I'm doing. So I got watercolor paper, some water. This is the only red I have, which is like, I think it's Studio Calico Poppy. And the only black I have is from Heidi Swapp. To be honest, I wish I had Distress stains, but I don't. So we're going to run with what we got. So I just watered my paper, and now I'm just going to kind of splatter. See what I come up with. Just try not to hit my computer. And we're just gonna make a mess, because that's what I want to do. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. Should wear gloves. So I watched her. Ooh, I don't like that. That looks muddy. That's okay. It's fine. So she did this. So I got the idea from her to do this, and I wanted to do it. And so let's go ahead and spray this one down with water. And we're just gonna pick up leftover. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Then I went trying to come up with some ideas. So I had that in my head. And then I went on Whimsy Stamps and saw some of the ladies' creations, and I was totally inspired by them. Loved it. Highly recommend that. And I started coming up with an idea. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I'm liking the muddy water here. Ooh, okay. So we're going to set this off to the side. That's all the paper I have. Let's go ahead and clean this up. And of course I've got ink all over my computer. But then I got inspired by a movie. I know you're like, a movie? But yeah, I was watching Ghostbusters. I was laying in bed one night and I was just sitting there chilling out. Husband was playing video games. I didn't feel like crafting, so I just went and laid in bed. And I watched Ghostbusters. So that was my inspiration for this. It was a combination of those 3. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this dry. This beautiful hot mess. Let it do its own thing. And then we'll come back onto the next. And so when it's dry, we have this. And then what I did is I ran it through this embossing folder from Sizzix. I have no idea which one this one's called, but I wanted to give it a little oomph. So there's that. So that's the background, part of the background. There are different parts to this card because it's quite dimensional. But I will be right back and I'll set up for the next part after I clean up my mess here, because ooh, it's a mess. Okay, I am back. So mess is cleaned up, we're moving on to the next stage. And so now we're going to make a background. So this background, we're going to use the large moon mask. And we are going to probably put him, I want to say probably right about there. We're going to go ahead and set him down. Now we're going to ink blend, and we're going to make my favorite Halloween-y, scary, spooky watercolor nights, which is Twisted Citron, Rustic Wilderness, and Black Set. And so let's see, is that in the middle? Yeah, that's fine. And so we're just gonna ink blend our background. And so what was I talking about? Sorry, I'm squirreling right now. Oh, we've had a very busy weekend. We're installing new floors in the house because we never installed them when we moved in. We just ripped the carpet out and put some cheap sticky stuff down. Each tile was sticky, and you just kind of like tape it down or whatever. So it was like a quick fix until we decided what kind of floor we wanted to do. Well, we decided, we bought all the planks to do the house, like the pergo floor, but we never did. I mean, well, we did downstairs. As each kid moved out, we did the room, and then we finished up the living room, but we never did upstairs. We started doing upstairs when my husband finally got his computer that he's always wanted, and we turned my office into a game room. So it would be like a work, oh, my fingers are horrible. During the day I would work, and at night he would play his video games in there. And so we did put the flooring in there, but the rest of the house we didn't do. All right, so we're just going in, and this is looking pretty good. I'm going with some black set now. So basically, you know, the kitchen, the dining room, my craft room area, and our bedroom wasn't done. And of course, you know, we're kind of delaying wanting to do it because it's a pain in the butt to put new flooring in. You have to move everything and all the big furniture. And it's just, oh, it's a lot of work. But in order to sell the house, we have to do it. So we're biting the bullet and just doing it. So he's been doing the floors. I've been busy packing the house up. And I finished yesterday packing up the dining room. So like we purged a lot. I think we ran 3 trips, or it's going to be 3 trips actually, because my car's full right now. I just haven't gone down. Of stuff that we've donated. We've gone 6 trips altogether to the dump. I'll go back in with just a little bit more set here. There we go. Okay, that'll work. That'll do. And so the only place I have left to pack is my craft room, which I have to do over this next week so that he can move, because we got to move the cabinets that makes up my craft room. We want to move them down to the shop because the next person probably won't be a crafter. Well, maybe they might be, but more likely not. Okay, so there is our background. So next, I'm gonna clean up my mess here so I don't transfer ink. Take this off, and then we're going to come in with our moon mask, which again, it's the large, and I'm just using washi tape as a guide, or as a sticky. There we go, perfect. That'll do. All right, scattered straw. Sorry, it is so hard to ink blend and talk at the same time. I don't know how y'all do it. This is like I could chew gum and walk. That's no problem. Crafting and talking, not easy. So kudos to those who are able to do this. All right, so there we go. There's that. Oop. There's our creepy moon. All right, next thing we're gonna do is kind of clean off our fingers a little bit so we don't transfer, because I will do that. Okay, let's spray some water off screen. And get it to activate. And then I'm going to take a wipey and we're going to do a little swishing. And then we're going to go back the other way. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, that'll do. That'll do. So you can see it's kind of swishing along. I want to get a couple more spots over there inside. Not too concerned about the middle. There we go. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is a little splatter, because you need a little splatter, right? All right, so let's bring in the splatter box. Let's see if I can set this up so you guys can kind of see. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. The water. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So that'll do. All right, so there's our background. So the next thing we're gonna do is clean up our mess again, because we got white splatter all over the place. Crafting is always oh so messy, right? So I'm gonna get another clean rag to work with. I always keep these rags. They're like old washcloths that I bought, but I never used them for cleaning the kitchen. I didn't like the way they felt, so I figured they would be good for crafting. Wipe up my messes. All right, so this die I'm using is from Whimsy Stamps. I believe it's Revealers number 2. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna, oh wait, before we do that, we gotta put the tree in. You gotta have a creepy tree on the side, right? So let's ink up our tray. So So the tree I'm using is this icy tree from Nellie's Choice. And so I figured this would be uber cool. Kind of going off a little bit. Like, it's not the perfect tree for this, but it'll do. And then we'll go into some versifying. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and run with that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna line up my die. And I'm thinking like, before I had it straight up and down, so I think I want it like, maybe like right about there. So I'll run this through the machine and I will be right back. Okay, so we are back. And so that's what we cut out. So I could save this and probably do another project with it, but we'll see. But there's our background. And where is our other background? There's that. So I'm thinking I want it there. Yeah. I'm thinking right there. So, looks kind of creepy. All right, so I'm gonna take this little marker. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through the edges here, so that it's not white showing. Oops. That's why you do this from behind, you don't do in front. Otherwise you'll mark up here. And so there you go. There's a kind of a creepy thing going on. So you see where I'm going with this. Okay, so that's stage 2. Stage 3 is next. So hold on and I'll be right back. I think I might. All right, here is stage 3. We have all these lovely headstones that I cut out. There's also ghosts, but we'll get to the ghost in a minute. So these headstones are from, where are they from? The Build a Graveyard die set from Whimsy Stamps, and the dies are from the, it's also from Whimsy Stamps. And all I did was, ooh, and I got ink on them. That's fine. It's fine. Nobody's gonna care. I just took the stamp, I just used Versamite, so you get like that tone on tone kind of look. And that's all I did with these. So, let's see, how am I gonna do these? That goes there, that goes there. So this is gonna be the main character, which I cut out 2 foam because I really want to pop it up. And then some of these I'm gonna turn into like chipboards, if that makes sense, to give it a little more sturdiness. But in order to do so, I'm going to make some moss. Because what's a creepy headstone if you don't have like a creepy mossy mess, right? So, should have got these out of the way. We're gonna use, like, this is like uber old eucalyptus walnut ink stain, and then we're gonna use some texture paste. So, you're not gonna see it because I gotta do it off on my glass mat. Let's see if I can move this over. Because it's easier to do on my glass mat versus the silicone mat. It's easier to mix, I should say. So we're just gonna plop some down. We're gonna add a little bit of stain to it. And then we're just gonna mix it up. And so if I tip my phone this way, you can see where I'm kind of just mixing it up. Oops, my phone's still shaking, sorry. And then we're going to add, actually I want to add a little bit more. I don't think I have quite enough. So let me grab another clean palette knife. No, I probably added too much. So all I'm doing is just mixing, trying to get the right and it doesn't want to spray. There we go. Then we're going to add a little black. So it gives you that creepy grayishy green icky color. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'll show you this one and then, actually I'll show this one because I can grab this one. I'm having difficulties. So I'm just going to take I'm going to take and just wipe it on, and then I'm just going to stipple it. So you get that creepy kind of look to it. So there's that. And so I will continue to work on the rest of them, clean up my mess, and we'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So here is our gravestones. As you can see, they're still a little wet, but all I did was I glued extra cardstock behind them to make them a little bit more sturdy. And so there's that. And then we're also going to use these ghosts, which are also by Whimsy Stamps. And all I did with them was layer up 2 layers. So they're a little bit more thicker. And so we're going to have our little ghosts. So let's go ahead and we're going to put it all together. So we're going to tape this to this. Where's my tape gun? Clear across the room. That's where it's at. You ever had those moments where you're just like, just tape? All right, so we're gonna probably line this up just a little bit higher than, because I don't want necessarily a whole lot of white showing up here. It's supposed to be kind of creepy, right? All right, so now we're gonna cut off any excess we have. Oh, that did not work out well. Oh, that did not work out well. Did not think that through, I'm sorry. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue this together. So we're just gonna line them up. And there's our background. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a placement on our headstones. So here I have some grass cut out. So we're gonna tape this one down, but not fully stick it down, if that makes sense, because we're gonna tuck some headstones behind. And it's already sticking. So I kind of want him there. And then I kind of want him over here. So there's that. All right, so we'll cut off the excess for this. And then we're going to go in with our second blade of grass. I'm debating if I should probably pop this up, but I don't want to. If that, oops, sorry. My head bonked it. So I'm thinking probably right about there. So we're gonna go ahead and tuck him right behind. Or at least we're gonna try. Same goes for this guy. All right, now we're gonna trim this off. And in the end, this will fit a 5x7 card. I don't know if I said that or not. Cut off any overhang. Now, for our ghost, we're gonna go ahead and tuck these guys. I was gonna pop them up, but I think I'm just gonna lay them flat. So he is going to come up here. Like he's escaping. And then we're gonna go ahead and pop him in. He's coming over here and escaping. And then we'll pop this little guy. And he's going to come out from all the way down here. Next, we're going to add our last and final headstone. And that's going to go right there. And so there's our card. Still need to mat it. But yeah, that's the card. So in the end, here's the first one I did. The only thing I don't like about between these two is I don't like the different colored headstones that I did. And I added some silvery paint and I don't like that. But this is the end result of the card. So it'd be, I'm going to back it on white cardstock, real thin. I do about 1/8. I need to tape it down more. And then the inside of the card, all I did was just a white piece of paper. This is an old Inkadinkado stamp. I think it's called, I've had it in my stash for like ever. I usually use it on envelopes. It's called Halloween Trails. And then this is the Night of Halloween Ride It. I got from Colorado Craft from here. And so that's the end of my card. So there you go. So I'll finish this one off camera, but this is a really long video, so I'll talk to you guys later. Look down below for the other participants and have a great month. Talk to you guys next month. Bye.